Can you believe we're already halfway through the year? We couldn't wait for the summer, and now we're halfway through it. When January rolled around, many of us set goals. Maybe you wanted to save more, pay off debt, invest consistently, or reduce taxes. Or maybe you finally want to feel like you had control over your finances instead of your finances controlling you. So let me ask you something. Are you actually closer to those goals today? Welcome back to Intentional Wealth with Tiffany Tippins, the podcast where your money is aligned with purpose and your wealth is built with strategy, legacy, and intention. I'm your host, Tiffany Tippins. Welcome back to Intentional Wealth with Tiffany Tippins. I'm your host, Tiffany Tippins, wealth strategist, tax advisor, and founder of Impactful Wealth Solutions. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. If you listened to last week's episode, we talked about your retirement needs as strategy, not just contributions. If you missed it, make sure you go back and replay that episode. But just to catch you up a little bit, we discussed the importance of having a plan instead of simply hoping that contributions to your retirement will be enough. Today, I want to take that conversation a step further. Or has the last 6 months simply happened to you? And before you answer that question, let me say something important. This episode is not going to focus on what you didn't do. This is not about beating yourself up because life happened. It's about giving yourself permission to pause, evaluate, and reset. That's why I've named this episode the Midyear Money Reset. One thing I've learned after helping individuals, families, and business owners for more than 2 decades is that financially successful people don't wait until December to figure out whether they're on track. They stop periodically, they evaluate, they make adjustments, then they move forward with confidence. That's exactly what we're going to do together today. So, today I want to walk you through 4 areas that I believe everyone should review at the midpoint of the year. These aren't complicated strategies. They're practical checkpoints that can help you finish the year stronger than you started. So let's begin with the foundation of every financial plan, cash flow. Notice I didn't say income because I've worked with people who make $60,000 a year and are building wealth intentionally. I've also worked with people earning several $100,000 a year who constantly feel financially stressed. Income doesn't build wealth. Good financial habits do. Here's a simple exercise I want you to do this week. Pull up your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. And I don't want you to judge yourself. I just want you to observe. Ask yourself, where is my money actually going? Does my spending reflect what I say is important to me? Have my expenses quietly increased over the last 6 months? If my income has increased, has my savings increased too? One of my favorite sayings is that every dollar should have a job. So when your money has purpose, your decisions become intentional. Maybe you've noticed subscriptions you no longer use. Maybe you're spending more eating out than you realize. Or maybe you'll just discover that you've actually done better than you thought. Either way, awareness is powerful. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that taxes only matter during tax season. Tax preparation happens after the year is over. Tax planning happens while the year is still happening. That's why July is such a great time to pause and ask yourself, have I increased my retirement contributions this year? If I'm self employed, am I prepared for estimated taxes? Am I tracking my deductions consistently? Or have I made charitable gifts that I should be documenting? A lot of people miss this. And if you're waiting until next February to think about taxes, you've already missed many of your planning opportunities. The best tax strategies are proactive, not reactive. And that's why I encourage my clients to think about taxes throughout the year. not just when it's time to file. Now, let's talk about investing. Notice I didn't say let's talk about the stock market because while everyone wants to know what the stock market is doing, I think there's a more important question. Has your life changed? Maybe you started a new job, started a new business, possibly sold a business. You could have had a child, got married, or possibly divorced. Or are you someone caring for aging parents? Or maybe retirement suddenly feels much closer than it did 6 months ago. When life changes, your financial strategy should be reviewed too. Investments should support your life, not the other way around. Your investment allocation should reflect your goals, your timeline, and your comfort with risk today, not what made sense 5 or 10 years ago. The final area is one that's deeply personal for me. Many of you know that my passion for financial planning started after losing my father unexpectedly when I was a teenager. Watching my family navigate that difficult time without a clear financial plan taught me lessons I'll never forget. That's why estate planning isn't only about wealth, it's about making difficult moments just a little easier for people you care about the most. So here's something else I want you to ask yourself. Have I reviewed my beneficiaries recently? Do I have a will or a trust? And if I do, would my family know where to find my important financial documents? It's not only important to actually do the work, you also need to share with others where they can find your final wishes and how to execute them. Those aren't always easy questions, but they're incredibly important ones. As I was preparing for today's episode, I realized something. One of the greatest gifts we have right now is time. We still have 6 months left in the year. That's 6 months to improve our habits. It's 6 months to save more intentionally. And here's what I hope you'll remember: financial success doesn't come from making one perfect decision, it comes from making consistent, intentional decisions over time. Small adjustments made today can create significant results tomorrow. If today's conversation caused you to stop and think, I'm not really sure if I'm on track, I'd love to help. Through the month of July, I'm offering a limited number of complimentary tax and wealth strategy reviews. During our conversation, we'll look at where you are today, where you like to be by the end of the year, and identify opportunities that may help strengthen your financial strategy. If you're on track, you'll leave with confidence that your plan is working. And if there are areas that need attention, we'll discuss practical next steps so you'll move forward with clarity. You can schedule your complimentary review using the link in the show notes. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could benefit from a mid-year financial reset. Remember, wealth isn't built by hoping the next 6 months will be different. It's built by making intentional decisions today that your future self will thank you for tomorrow. Until next time, keep planning with purpose, keep building with confidence, and always plan boldly, live fully, and leave a legacy that matters. Thank you for listening to Intentional Wealth with Tiffany Tippins. This content is for educational purposes only. This episode is not individualized investment, tax, legal, or insurance advice. Consult with a qualified professional about your specific situation. If this episode helped you, share with someone who's in need of a mid-year money reset. Don't forget to check the show notes to schedule your mid-year tax and wealth strategy review.